GoPro, stop recording.
So one of the first questions that you guys asked was, Ariel Vey asked, what are some of our favorite snacks?
Thank you for asking, because it was so fun going to the store and buying some snacks.
Just for this video.
Just for this video.
So, Whole Foods Italian sparkling water.
Boring.
I love sparkling water. And I don't like flavored sparkling waters. Not that I don't like the flavoring. I just don't like the flavoring. So I like the flavors. I like the flavor. Like, I like drinking it, but I'm very concerned with what they put in the flavorings, because pretty much every brand,
Fair point.
every brand says natural flavors, and you could put thousands of ingredients in there and call it natural flavors. Natural, like, I've worked in the grocery business long enough to know that natural doesn't mean anything. It's flat.
Is this just flat water?
No, it's just not. Anyways, so I'm concerned with natural flavors because Nestle, the parent company of LaCroix, was caught putting roach poison into that umbrella of natural flavors. And they're still, they were caught doing it, but they still claim it's a natural flavor and that they're allowed to do that. So they admitted that they did that they put roach poison in under natural flavors, and so they admitted it, and they also are saying that they're allowed to do that. And nobody said anything further. So ever since then, I've stayed away from any of the flavored sparkling waters, but I always go with the pure flavor, because whenever you, like, even LaCroix, their pure sparkling water is just pure, like, it's just the ingredients just say sparkling water, so I'm always cool with those.
Well, my favorite drink on the road is actually the dark chocolate protein by Rebel, and I just love it. I love anything chocolate, as a matter of fact, like, well, I mean, of course, but I don't really like coffee. I prefer like hot chocolate in the morning to kind of get like a caffeine from the cocoa. So this is really awesome because it's high in a super herb. It has super herb support. So it's high in maca root. It has 250 milligrams, reishi extract, and ashwagandha extract. So these are all like amazing adaptogens. So they help you adapt to stress too. So I love this drink. This is like my favorite on the road drink.
Even before we were on the road, she had one of those a day, pretty much.
Yeah. I picked up 2 of these for the kids, just to share what the kids kind of snack on. These are 2 different ones. Like I kind of get them different brands, but now that we're down in SoCal, there's different brands than what we're used to. So this is Cerebelly, and this, like, when I'm looking for things for my kids, like, I try to find something that's like super nutritious and healthy. But what I love about these is, so it says sweet potato mango and broccoli pear. So you have like this sweetness to the fruit, but then it's hiding some veggies in it. So I love that. It's like amazing. The vitamin content in these is absolutely amazing. And this company is geared towards building their brains, like with vitamins. So it's interesting. Yeah, and great. And they love these. Even like my almost 5-year-old still sips on these.
So something I've been lately really into, Dietrich started buying this. Now, keep in mind, I'm an ex-Whole Foods employee, so I worked for Whole Foods for almost 7 years, and only just recently stopped working for them. And anyways, just because it seems like we're getting a lot of, well, at least for me, I get a lot of Whole Foods brand stuff. But this midnight double feature trail mix, yeah, it's really good. It basically, it just has cherries and dark chocolate, or it has peanut butter cups in it. Dark chocolate peanut butter cups.
And then sweet and sour cherries.
It's got cashews, which is my favorite nut. The almonds in this, the saltiness is perfect.
Yeah,
like sometimes they're either too salty or not salty enough. And that's pretty much it. Whatever else is in it, I don't care.
There's 4 ingredients in it.
Oh, and I named them all.
Yeah, cashews, almonds, peanut butter cups, and the sweet and sour cherries. And it's just the best combo ever.
It is.
So another thing that I get for the kids, and we love them too, but the kids kind of eat them all up before we could have them, is this Gimme Organic seaweed. My kids love this. They love it so much. So these are the little small individual packs, and sometimes we'll get the big sheets, but with little kids when they eat it, it's like Cookie Monster.
Too.
Yeah,
it's like Cookie Monster seaweed edition.
So these are really handy. They have a little like little cup that comes with it, so they eat them individually, and it's perfect.
And then they get to throw the cups at us after.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, moving on to the next question.
What's your favorite thing about Southern California? It's hard because we're not in my favorite places yet.
In SoCal?
Yeah. We're not in Encinitas, we're not in Oceanside, we're not in San Diego area. I'm having a really difficult time loving one thing about SoCal right now because I'm in LA County and I cannot stand it. And that's like why God has us here, I think, is because there's a lot of healing that needs to take place here in LA County. I'm so grateful for Malibu because it's like this little section like off of LA County that's just been so welcoming. The people are warm. The area's beautiful. But I think like now having walked through Huntington Beach, been in LA and Venice,
and Santa
Monica, like we've been all over the place,
Pasadena.
and in Malibu and in Pasadena. Like I have to say my one favorite thing about Southern California is the vegetation that grows here. It is like paradise. You know, wherever you're at that's not Southern California, you can buy a succulent in a store and then put it on your windowsill and it stays about this big like for years to come until it shrivels up or you kill it because you didn't have a green thumb for succulents. But like here, the vegetation, like those little succulents are like massive, and I am just every single second that I'm walking down the street seeing how beautiful like God's creation of succulents is, and I love it. It's like beautiful.
Everything's just so healthy because of all the just the low altitude, the water everywhere, you know, the climate. It's just really nice. So
I'd say that's my one
kind of like a paradise.
One favorite thing is like the vegetation, the paradise vegetation. It's absolutely extraordinary, unlike anything I've seen anywhere else.
Well, for me, that's a really hard question. Like the single most important favorite thing about SoCal, I kind of just love everything about SoCal.
Surfing.
Yeah, I mean, so going from surfing frigid waves in Nevada to here, obviously, yes, the ocean and the waves are a huge part of it, but also just the climate. Like I'm not hardly even cold anymore. Like we get chilly down here. Like, ooh, it's kind of chilly out, even though it's February. If we were in Reno outside right now, it'd be freezing. Like, and then what God has asked us to do here, like, is amplifying my love for it too. And then the people that we've met too. So like, I don't know. I just love it here. And even though I've always kind of hated LA since I'm from San Diego, LA's like the older brother, like the annoying older brother. of San Diego. So I kind of always grew up hating LA, and then when God kind of brought us here, I was kind of like, I was just praying, like, God, just send me to San Diego. I don't want to go to LA. And I think that's why God has me here. And I'm starting to, like Dietrich was saying, I'm very grateful of Malibu and like what we have here. And I never really experienced Malibu, and it's amazing. So, of course, there's parts of it, I mean, probably most of LA I still am not super fond of, but...
Yeah, because we've really only been in Santa Monica and Venice, parts of it. We drove through downtown that first night we were headed to Malibu.
I still have never really been downtown, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Pasadena's just kind of weird, so I don't know. There's just a lot of suburban area in LA, but I think as a whole, I just really love SoCal in general.
So your one favorite thing about SoCal is SoCal?
Pretty much. Okay, moving on to the final question, which is, what keeps you going?
Besides coffee?
I mean, that's a tough question too, because what keeps me going, like, in general, or what keeps me going, like, now that we're doing what we're doing, or what? But I'm gonna take it to mean what keeps me going now.
No, I think it's like what keeps you going, yeah, with what you're doing.
Yeah. And the answer to that is really just God, because, I mean, both my parents are dead. I'm only 30. You know, none of my family agrees with anything I'm doing. Like, what would keep me going? It's God and my wife and my kids. And I don't know, I've never really been one to give up ever. So my personality is always to just keep going too. But I just, like, I don't have to wake up every day and be like, Lord, help me have just the wherewithal to keep going. You know what I mean? I just keep going, and that's just who I am.
You seem to me more like you're like this person that keeps going despite, and then God has to trip you and make you slow down.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. God has to, like, take me out of situations.
He's like, wait a minute, stop going.
Yeah.
For a second.
And think about what you're doing. Okay, now you can keep going. Yeah. So, yeah, God keeps me going, and I'm just an ambitious person sometimes, I guess.
Yeah,
And
very ambitious.
that's why God needs to trip me up sometimes, because I get overly ambitious and want to do things the way I want to do them, and yeah. What about you?
What keeps me going? Same. Honing in on that a little bit more specifically for what we're doing right now, is really His promises, God's promises. Because, like, I really don't feel, I am more of the type of person that's like, well, like, I have to be forced to go sometimes, and, like, I don't, like, I can slow myself down. I can start speaking those things, those words over me, like word curses even, that are just like, oh, you need to stop that. You shouldn't share this. People are annoyed by you. Stop talking. Shut your mouth, because it's not edifying anybody. It's not lifting anybody up. And, like, so I, like, shame myself a lot. So that, like, literally stops me in my tracks. So I think, like, holding on to the identity that Christ has given me, like, that Jesus gives me in Himself, which is like, I have a purpose for my life. Those are God's promises. So I have a purpose for my life. He has a purpose for my life that is beyond my imagination, and dreams for my life that is beyond my imagination. He's given me the gift of healing, and I should share that with people. He's given us all the gift of, like, exhortation and loving and sharing love with other people, and that keeps me going. The connections that we have with people, the relationships that get built from the ground up keep me going. You know, even, like, it's weird to say, but even in those moments, like when you're experiencing hatred from somebody, like from a stranger, and, like, I respond from love and not revenge, that keeps me going. Because I'm like, okay, love, love, love. So it's like his promises of love, his purpose, purpose for my life, healing life, just, so that's really what keeps me going right now. It's just understanding that there's goodness that comes from him, and like I can taste that, and I can be in like his presence.
All right, guys, that's the end of Q&A.
Yeah, and if you didn't get your question in, I mean, you could even comment on this video.
Yeah.
If you want to know more about like
anything.
How has it been traveling with 2 wild kids? And like all of that kind of stuff. So, but we'll save those for later dates too if you guys are interested. Just get your question in. We're gonna post probably again this week. Even if you have questions about like hypocrisy in the church, like I'm down to answer those too.
Yeah, anything.
Like big time.
Any religion questions or whatever.
Why is there pain in the world?
Jeez,
I'm like, I would love to answer that question.
Okay, she'll answer that. Alright guys, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you soon.